everybody, and welcome back to Follow the Rhoades with me, Ramy Rhoades. And today is the official final episode of Follow the Rhoades. It's been a really fun journey and long-awaited last episode. And I'm here with my dad, who will be, or my manager, depending. But I'm here in Washington, D.C. actually, and my dad's gonna interview me for the final episode, and yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Where specifically are?
We are on a stage right now, like a little small stage right next to the Washington Monument.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Ramy, what do you think about being here?
It's a lot of fun. I always enjoy bigger cities. I enjoy seeing lots of different places. I enjoy traveling. So and I've been here before, about 6 years ago, and I enjoyed it then, and I like seeing it now. It's a really nice place.
Yeah, so a couple nights ago here in DC at the Capitol Center, we watched a couple of the Sweet 16 games, which were really, really good.
Yep.
And then tonight we're watching the Elite Eight game.
Oh yeah.
Between you and UConn. That should be a good game. Who do you think's gonna win?
I I think Duke will probably win, but I really want UConn to win. They have a lot. I really like the way that they play. They have really good players, but of course Duke is Duke this year, and they're pretty good, well coached.
So this is your final episode of your senior project.
Mm-hmm.
How was it doing it as a senior project?
I mean, I've talked at length about it, but it was really a great experience, and I think it really gave a lot more perspective on some things I never consider. Like I've said before, one of my personal philosophies is that of having a conversation, willing to talk about things, and it also provided me a better way to talk to people, because I'm not a super talkative person, like small talk wise, but it gave me an opportunity to actually talk to people for 30 plus 50 minutes and get an actual feel on them. And
what do you think some of your best questions?
I really enjoyed one of my staples, the music question, what's your favorite music to listen to. I think it really, when people genuinely answered it, it really showed it showed some of who they are as a person, somewhat, kind of what they enjoy. But if I had to pick a specific one,
Sort of like your best conversation.
our best conversation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or your best question or best conversation.
mm-hmm. Well, I think the best conversation I had was definitely, I think, of course, my longest episode with Mr. Elston, because it was a person I had never really dove into, and there's so much that he did and was a part of, and just a lot of interesting things. That was one of my favorite ones, and also Miss Shepherd was a great one as well. I enjoyed that one a lot.
And so this is your senior project. What advice would you have to juniors on doing their senior project next?
Of course, everyone says it, don't procrastinate. I wouldn't say I procrastinated that much, but I did a little bit on certain things. Make sure you have your stuff, make sure you have it kind of planned out, and just have fun. I had a lot of fun with this project, and I know a lot of other people, it was a total hassle for them, and they hated it every step of the way. So do something you're probably going to like, is what I'd say too.
That makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this is your senior project. I mean, it's you're wrapping up a bunch of things, high school and whatever. You wrapped up your final high school basketball season. you're wrapping up being the student body president and high school graduation coming up. What are your thoughts about that? Wrapping up so many things, your high school career in basketball, government,
Yeah.
etc.
hmm I mean, it's really crazy to think about, especially being here, all being in Chow's all my life from kindergarten all the way to the end, and especially growing with all the people who've been here, whether they came in middle of the year or been here since the beginning. It it's really a lot. I mean, I'm ready to be done, but of course, never forget it helped shape who I am, and I'm grateful for everything I was given and every opportunity.
Nice. And what advice would you have to say to your basketball teammates you're leaving, or somebody that's wanting to jump in to be a student body president? What advice would you give them?
You, yeah, it's a you have to be confident in what you're doing in both of them. Of course, student body president, you have to oftentimes have to make the decisions. I learned decently quickly that you can't be like, oh, well, maybe, because then nothing gets done usually, or it delineates to someone else, and they might not have the best idea. And to share your opinions, talk with people, be willing to talk, and say if something's not right, willing to do that. And for my basketball teammates, it's a lot of you just have to put in hard work and have to be committed, and you have to be having fun. And that's the biggest parts of it.
Makes sense. So one of the questions you've always kind of off and on hit everybody with is like, what music or podcast do you listen to when you're going to school or going somewhere, driving a long drive?
Well, like on an average day in school or going to school, I usually just have this 35, I think it's 40 hours now, long playlist of just all my favorite music over all time. And a lot of the time I listen to albums in full from start to finish, which I'll do off and on during school days or anything like that. And on long drives, I usually prefer podcasts. It makes me more engaged. And I usually listen to, there's this one where it's two guys in there reading these internet horror stories, and it's kind of funny. And I enjoy listening to that because I enjoy like writing and stories and everything like that.
So we or you have a pretty good vinyl record collection,
Yep.
which is, there's probably not many kids in Chalice that listen to vinyl records or have a collection.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the favorite vinyl record we have?
Oof. Like favorite in the record itself or like favorite album that I enjoy the most?
Probably either one or both.
Okay, I'll do both. My favorite album that I've really enjoyed, I have two, and I was really glad to get one of them because they don't make many of them. It was pretty expensive, and that would be Blonde by Frank Ocean. I listened to it a lot when I was younger. Helped me through some tough times, probably, and it's on a special like color edition, and I just like that one because it's really exclusive and it's one of my favorites. And then my favorite album, which is like slowly becoming one of my favorites of all time, is The New Sound by Jordy Griep, released about 2 years ago, and it's a really fun album, and I really like the instrumentation, and it's good, interesting story as well, and good message if you really look into it.
Yeah. So in our travels, we've gone to like a lot of different record stores from in
Yeah.
Idaho,
Oh yeah.
Montana, Utah, San Francisco, and now DC.
hmm
Um, what was your favorite one? What was your favorite store so far?
I mean, the favorite one to me by far is in San Francisco. There's one called Amoeba, and it is ginormous, the biggest I've seen, and a crazy catalog as well. So many things in there, like artists that I've been looking for and I haven't seen anywhere else, and they had them there, and I was really surprised, and it was super awesome. But I, the ones in DC were good, but the thing I liked about them a lot more is it was just a experience trying to like find them, because a lot of times you go on the map and it's like, oh, where do we go? Like the one inside office building, you have to go into the basement.
No, and the one we had to walk down, we walked right by it.
Yeah, yeah, it was under some stairs, and you had to duck under and sneak in. It's just cozy and really fun.
What was the record you bought yesterday?
Um, uh, I can't remember the name of it, but it was the final record made by Donny Hathaway, and I always enjoyed a lot of the songs on that record too, because I actually looked and I didn't realize all those songs. I'd liked all those songs that were on there, but I didn't realize that they were on that record. I just liked a couple of those songs. So,
So, I remember a podcast where somebody talked about editing a podcast content or explicit language or controversy.
yeah.
Um, the question I have is if someone on your podcast would have been like strongly political, how would have you strongly political or controversial? How would have you dealt?
I would have, I think if it was super extreme, I would have, if it was like extreme, like actually like what, not even really an opinion, just actually, whoa, I'd probably might like scrap the entire episode probably if it was just horrible or just, but the thing I would do if it was like a strong political opinion, I would definitely have like disclaimer or something at the start that would say like, uh, any specific opinions aren't reflective of me. Just
No, that makes sense.
whatever, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what was it? Last week we were looking at Idaho school rankings that just came out.
Yeah.
We saw where Chalice High School and Elementary had been made some improvement
Mm-hmm.
there. What would be what are some challenges you think are going to face the Chalice school?
Um, of course, it's some lack of some teachers in certain areas not having a higher high school level math teacher definitely impacts that. And also another thing which I've talked to people about and had conversations about with people is a lot of people just don't care. A lot of the kids just don't care, and they're not willing to care about it. And I think on one of my episodes, on the student episode, someone talked about this same thing, and it just kind of makes it worse for everyone else around. And for more impressionable people, it's probably like, well, these guys aren't caring. I should probably not care either. And it's just hard to deal with, and it creates a bad environment for other people and for teachers as well, because oftentimes these kids are stepping out of line or being annoying, and it takes time away from the teaching, and often might lead to teachers being like, oh, I'm done, I'm not teaching here anymore, which only lowers the standard.
So what improvements, in your opinion,
uh I mean, it's always hard. How do you get people to care?
Yeah.
Which you can't. I don't know, and it might even start from home almost in a way. And of course, you're gonna have some, no matter what, they're just like, no, I'm not at any public school. Like, no, I'm not gonna care at all. But maybe harsher. I don't know, harsher enforcement, but then that causes more issues. Um, maybe there's some sort of thing where it can like bring people together. Once again, coming back to that one student episode I had, I think I was when I interviewed Ty. He said like a competition thing, like some sort of like competitive thing really brings people together. And I don't know how you add that into a school thing, but I thought it was a really interesting thought.
No, because I mean it's a maybe a one step higher version than like the publishing GPAs every semester and quarter, which is kind of a competition in itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if you could interview a historical figure for your podcast or a podcast, or just for your personal interview, who would it be and why?
I mean, an easy one to think of right now, being in Washington D.C., would probably be like a George Washington, some other founding father.
Yeah.
Really kind of get some insight and truly see what kind of people they were and what they would ask them questions about today, what they would think about today.
Yeah.
Kind of wonder about that. Yeah.
So I know in some of your episodes you've already kind of answered this, but there, time changes things. What are your plans for the
future? For right now, it's still going to electrical school. That's my major plan. I mean, working in the summer, work at the Forest Service in the summer for trails, and then go work in Chalice as an electrician and just start working towards that journeyman license. At least for right now. It could change, of course, but
what is your favorite place you have been to?
I really enjoyed I haven't been in a little bit, but I did really enjoy like southern Utah, Arizona area. I love the landscape and I like how warm it is sometimes, but I also really thought San Francisco was cool, a cool place. I would say Italy too. That was really cool, but I was pretty young when I went there, so it's kind of hard to get a gauge on it how it would be. But
yeah,
I thought it was cool when I was there.
And then tied close to that is where's some place you would like to go?
I always thought that Germany would kind of be an interesting place to go. Also, like, I think I'd want to go to Texas at least once as well. I think Texas is interesting. Yeah, big area, a lot of different things to do. Or like even I also want to go to some South American country too. I think I think that's a cool area as well.
Yeah, I've been in like Guatemala, Central America country.
Yeah, even Central America. Yeah.
So that's the basically the final question I have. Is there any questions that come to mind you want to ask me?
Let me think. How has it been to kind of raise me and see how I've grown and what kind of person I'm going to become? Is there a pride in that or what?
No, I think there's a big pride, as most people know, of course, you are an only child, and that we always were give you like super independent, but we were the parents that would go to bed at night and didn't care if you went to bed or not, that it was always up to you. And I think, that has really influenced you a lot, being independent, being able to tackle things on your own, which I'm very proud of.
Yeah. Nice. Fine.
So that's all I had.
All right. Sweet. Well, once again, and for the last time, thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed this special episode. Thank you for anyone who ever listened, ever supported. I appreciate it all. And thank you. I'll see you next time.